I'll believe it when I see it. We've all heard the phrase, "It is a sign of adamant skepticism that can only be swayed by undeniable evidence that can reach out and slap you in the face." Sometimes it's deserved. Sometimes, like when it's said to someone who has a history of saying they'll do something and they never do. Other times, it's a lack of imagination. This is kind of a follow-up to my previous devotional on faith and logic. Like I said in that devotional, we want to be convinced by reason, and we want it to completely satisfy us in our questions and beliefs. Most of the time, this means being provided with a physical piece of evidence that clearly points to a single conclusion. I don't think there could exist a single piece of irrefutable evidence to satisfy all inquiry on such grand issues as the origin of everything, the possibility of a higher power, the purpose of life, and the basis for truth and morality. That is too much to ask for, no matter what you believe. However, I am not sure that would change anything. Even if a piece of absolute truth existed, I doubt it would change people's minds, no matter how smart they are. In John chapter 6, Jesus talks with a crowd of people and describes himself as the bread of life that can provide eternal nourishment and that they need to believe in him. In verse 30, the crowd asks, "What sign then are you going to do so we may see and believe you? What are you going to perform?" And Jesus responds, and a part of his response is, "But as I told you, you've seen me, and yet you do not believe." He says that in verse 36. That crowd had seen the Son of God. Even more, they had seen him do miracles, yet they still struggled to believe. For all people who encountered Jesus in his life, a great number did not believe. God stood in front of them, and they still did not believe. One of my favorite TV shows, the XFiles, features an FBI agent who believes in aliens. He has a poster up in his office of a UFO with the caption, "I want to believe." His poster displays an earnest desire to believe in something outlandish, but with a restraint of needing something to confirm the belief. The FBI agent often faces skepticism. In fact, he has to deal with situations in which obvious proof of alien life has appeared in front of people, yet they still deny it and call him crazy and his ideas absurd. This is how people reacted to Jesus standing in front of them. This is how people react to miracles. This is how people would react if there was undeniable evidence of God's existence. Belief in God is not a matter of proof. Proof would hardly make a difference when confronted with the limited capacity of human understanding. The great Russian novelist Fyodor Dostoevsky wrote in a personal letter, "If anyone could prove to me that Christ is outside the truth, and if the truth really did exclude Christ, I should prefer to stay with Christ and not with truth." He did not write about blind faith and unreasonable loyalty. He wrote about truth as mortals can grasp it, and Christ as an eternal mystery never to be comprehended. Dostoevsky knew that truth would always be incomplete and faulty because we, the seekers of truth, are incomplete and faulty, and that Christ would always stand outside our human conception of truth because he is God and stands outside of creation and familiarity. I'm not saying that we cannot know God and we cannot know anything true about him. He did something beyond understanding, which is enter humanity in flesh and become holy man while staying holy God. He did that in part for our benefit of knowing him. My point is that we will encounter times when God does not fit our understanding of morality, truth, or existence. When that happens, we should remain aware that it is not because God is faulty in some way, it is because we are faulty and cannot hope to fit him within our tiny box of comprehension.